Chesapeake, Virginia, 1650 AM WHKT presents Sports Scene. Sports Scene features local, regional, and nationally acclaimed guests and excellent interviews. Follow Sports Scene on Twitter at Greg Bick and at GJBTV.com. Now here is Greg Bicouvaris.
All right, thank you very much, Ken Johnson. Glad you're with us on this beautiful March 22nd. We are live, as always, right here on the radio, 1650 AM, tunein.com. Type in WHKT to listen on your phone or your computer. Sports Scene is an interview show each Wednesday from 12 to 1. Also, to invite you to watch sports highlights on nnpstv.com. Tell your friends about 1650. Twitter, at Greg Bick, at Sports Highlight, at GJBTV, HR1LineMall.com. Thank you to our military. Great guest lineup in the studio today. We have Chris Sawyer and Al Cousineau from Stratford University. We'll talk to them in just a few moments. Sponsors on GJBTV.com and Hampton Roads OnlineMall.com, where you can see Stratford University. Guest lineup presented by Mi Casita Mexican Restaurant with two great locations in Virginia Beach. You can see their link on Hampton Roads OnlineMall.com in the restaurant section. Phone line presented by Outback Steakhouse on Kempsville Road. Wizards, final stretch to the playoffs. Sweet 16 is going on. Just one team from the ACC, that's North Carolina. Spring training in baseball, all types of championships. Sponsors this month on this show, Spaghetti Eddie's, Finks, Me Hogar, and Newport News Greek Festival. Always great interviews, business segments, highlights, commentary, and what tees me off. Thank you for making the habit to listen to Sports Scene weekly, and we love our regulars and newcomers as well. Joe Daniel is producing. We got Chris. We got Al. This is Greg. Stay tuned right here live on 1650. TuneIn.com. Type in WHKT to listen on your phone or your computer.
Oh, yeah, this is the place where Washington Wizards basketball comes alive on the radio.
John Wall, edge of the circle, cuts his right, splits the defenders, drives, 360 under the basket, makes and scores!
Follow John Wall, the Wizards, all season long on their journey through the NBA.
Catch and shoot for three, it's there! It's there!
Check it on Twitter at Dave J Sports or at JC Talks. It is the hashtag radio party right here on your home for Washington Wizards basketball.
Listen on 1650 AM, The Answer.
Mi Hogar is your restaurant for the finest Mexican cuisine in Hampton Roads. At Mi Hogar, everything is prepared fresh in a casual atmosphere. Enjoy traditional favorites such as quesadillas, tacos, burritos, and fajitas, as well as refreshing beverages. Mi Hogar has two locations, 4201 Granby Street in Norfolk and 801 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake. Call ahead at 640-7705. At Mi Hogar, there is something for everyone.
Catch up on archived editions of Sports Scene by going to GJBTV.com and clicking the YouTube image on the homepage. Now back to Sports Scene on 1650 AM and TuneIn.com.
All right, welcome back to Sports Scene live right here on the radio. Greg Bicouvaris, glad you're with us at 12:09. We'd like to welcome the men and women in uniform serving around the world listening to today's broadcast in 175 countries and aboard ships at sea on TuneIn.com. Thanks for all that you do. We're hoping you're enjoying today's version of Sports Scene. And also, a locals tradition is CP Shuckers with locations on Shore Drive and Pacific Avenue. People love their seafood, pasta, burgers, wings, and much more. Your home for all the college basketball action is CP Shuckers March Madness. Cheer on your favorite team and all the TVs at both restaurants. Celebrate the games in March with great food, beverages, and a lot of fun. Eat or be eaten at CP Shuckers with locations on Shore Drive and Pacific Avenue. Go by and see Matt, Mark, Chris, and the great staff. Great pasta, seafood, and burgers. You can't go wrong with CP Shuckers. All right, let's welcome from Stratford University, Chris Sawyer and Al Cousineau. Chris, good to see you.
Good to see you, Greg.
Al?
Hey, happy to be here, Greg.
Very good, of course. Chris, let's start off with you. We've got you on Sports Highlights. People can see that show on nnpstv.com on demand. What type of feedback did you get from that?
It's been great. tweeted it out. It's been on Facebook. Put it out on our sports website, gostratford.com. Had a lot of good positive feedback from that, and appreciate you helping us get the word out about Stratford.
Stratford's been around for a long time.
1976. Yeah, we're in our 41st year celebrating, and we're going on our 5th year over at J. Clyde Morris.
Great location. Al Cousineau, I've known you since the 90s, back to the recycling committee. We've done sports on the radio, TV as well. I've done some of your soccer games. What type of experience has this been for you? You've been involved in soccer at all levels.
Yeah, it's been really exciting. We're finally giving the local kids a platform to play and stay local, which is hard to do sometimes. There's a lot of competition with different universities out there, William & Mary, Old Dominion, the big schools, and they don't always look at the local kids, and now the local kids have a chance to play.
How do you find players?
Well, there's a lot of sites out there, but luckily soccer is a hotbed in our area, and there's a lot of girls. I'm focused on the girls with the women's program, and there's just a ton of players playing travel soccer, kind of like AAU basketball type thing. And since I've been connected for so long, it hasn't been hard for me to connect to the coaches, find out who the seniors are that want to stay local, maybe, and play. And so it's gone really well. I think I've got almost a roster of 15 with another 15 or so that have verbally said they're interested.
Chris Sawyer, Al Cousineau in the studio. Greg Bicouvaris, glad you're with us. We're talking about Stratford University launching a sports program. How is that, launching something brand new?
It is. It's from scratch. It was back in September that the university decided to kind of embark on this, and Al was actually the first person I contacted. But it's been great because we've have no one on our roster to Al's got about 15 now, with another 15 coming, and our other sports programs. I'd say our goal is to have about 80 to 85 student athletes in the fall. Right now we're about 43, so we're halfway to our goal.
Right. When you talk about finding girls and guys both on soccer, is there a side of the water, peninsula, south side, that's stronger in soccer? I know Virginia Beach has always been strong in soccer.
Yeah, sometimes it's where the population is. And so when you're dealing with the strength of teams, you've got a situation where the bigger schools tend to have maybe stronger teams, girls that are really committed playing travel at a high level. But luckily, both sides of the peninsulas offer solid soccer, players. And, Mitchfield High School has always been a power in soccer locally. I want to say the Old Bay Rivers, but it's now the Peninsula 10, I think, with the Tabs and the Yorks and the Grafton girls, Jamestown. There's a lot to choose from. We just signed a girl the other night from Bruton, so we're real excited. But my goal has always been to kind of make it a Hampton Roads-based team. If I could get 10 girls from the Peninsula and 10 from the South Side, really create a local feel, I think that's the best way to go.
Chris Sawyer, there's a lot that people can do at Stratford University. It's really, we mentioned how good of a brand it is. It's been around for a long time, but really academics, athletics, activities, and it's really known for cooking as well.
Yeah, Stratford's very popular for the culinary program. In fact, last year, 2016, we made the Guinness Book of World Records for the largest pyramid cake at 9 feet tall. So we're very proud of that. We have lots of different programs, from business to IT, culinary, health science. So it's the in-demand careers that students are seeking and employers want for graduates to go into those careers.
Al, is fundamental something you're still working on the most with soccer?
At this level, most of the girls come ready to play. The thing that we have to kind of focus on is building team chemistry, agreeing on what style of play we're going to have, because when they come from 10 different high schools, they all have had different coaches. So to get them all on the same page of, hey, here's how we're going to approach the attacking side of soccer, here's what we're going to do defensively, and getting them all on the same page is really the first step to success. But they all know how to dribble a ball. It's just a matter of maybe some fine-tuning here and there, but overall, the team chemistry is really the focus on the women's side.
I've always said, too, Chris Sawyer, that an athletic director is like the head coach for the coaches. So your job is to not only define good personnel, the good coaches, just like you found Al, but it's not always that easy to find a coach like you did Al.
It's not. Again, I stumbled on Al by accident, actually seeking interested coaches. But it's been tough. We have you're managing it from the ground up. You have I'll have 4 people. We're about to hire a basketball coach. We have Al as our soccer coach, Alan Elledge as our baseball coach, and Lindsay Enders as our softball coach. And, we're also looking at recruiting. So I have to meet with them. We have weekly meetings. But one of the good things about our coaches is they're very familiar with Hampton Roads, and they're out in the communities all the time, and they're well known. So I think the parents, when they come in with the students to learn about Stratford, they trust the coaches that we've hired, and that's very important for us in building our program.
But also, too, you've got to find playing fields for not only games but practice, too, and put a schedule together.
Well, that's one of the tough things about starting from scratch with no facilities. So we've had to work with York County. Al and his team will be playing over at Kiln Creek, which is a beautiful field. Basketball, we're still looking at a couple places. We had talked with Cape Henry, we're actually talking with a couple other schools. But it has been tough. Also, people knew about Stratford in certain different areas like culinary and our business programs, but a lot of people that are in athletics around Hampton Roads didn't realize we had a program. So that's been one of the actually fun things about doing this, is getting our name out to people who may not have even thought about coming to Stratford.
Right. Really, there's something for everyone, Al, too. And as far as getting your roster together, you're talking to coaches that you've got a long time history with as well.
Right. That's really been helpful. I've got quite a few friends out there in the coaching world that, are saying, hey, telling their players, well, you were going to stay local and go to a local college anyway, in Thomas Nelson or, one of the smaller schools, because you didn't have a place to play. Now they have a 4-year opportunity to come in, earn their associates, earn their bachelor's, maybe go on to get their master's and beyond, and play 4 years of competitive collegiate soccer. So this is a really unique opportunity. And when I first met Chris, I said, you've really hit on a niche here that nobody else has. And we have a great opportunity, and we're all running with it, especially from the coach's side.
How many games?
We can play up to 20 in a season. Our schedule right now is I think we're about 15 strong, and we actually open up against Cape Fear, which is a former nationally ranked team from last year. They're a perennial power, regional power, if you will. So we're going down to the Port City Classic in Wilmington, North Carolina, and we're actually opening up with them in their professional stadium down there. So that should not only just be a challenge, but a really fun experience and a way to kind of see where we are initially with the program.
Yeah, and I wanted to touch on, Al's talking about giving the student athletes in Hampton Roads another option. And we were actually out one day, and he talked about students that may have gone on to a community college because they thought they had no option to play. And Al and I were sitting in a restaurant, and he recognized one of his former players there who was currently at a community college. We just signed her as a goalkeeper because she had no clue that she had an option to play right here at Stratford. So getting the name out and getting those student athletes who didn't think they had an opportunity really is one of the big things we do.
How has social media changed it?
Oh gosh, it's been great with Twitter, Facebook. We talked about the sports highlight show too. Just getting things out. It's really gotten people interested in who we are. We have 5 student athletes from Florida coming up for baseball, and all of a sudden, everyone in Florida is tweeting out about Stratford University. So we've gone beyond just the borders of Virginia. So social media has been a big help for us.
A good example, too, is like how our connections have grown, too. We go back to the 90s doing radio, TV, soccer, and it's just like you call on those contacts, and it makes your job a little bit easier, too, when you know a wealth of men and women that have played soccer under your tutelage already. And not only that, but they're friends and family as well.
Right. I mean, the community that we live in Hampton Roads is smaller than we think sometimes. And when you have and you create good, positive relationships with people, those come back and pay dividends in different ways that you never even imagined. Running into the girl, that Danielle Walker at the restaurant who would want to be playing goalie, she thought her dream was done. And she was so excited to sign in. And, you talked about what we do. If you go to gostratford.com, which is our athletic-based site, you can see some of the people that we've signed and pictures and so forth, even of Danielle. And yeah, she was in our soccer club for many years. And she thought, hey, I guess soccer, I'm done with it. But now she has an opportunity to come on and probably be a very, one of the captains maybe, or even, the top goalie in the area. And it's great for her. It's fun to see her excited and to know that started 6 years ago, well before I even knew Stratford University would come along. It's been great.
This is Sports Scene right here live on the radio on 1650 AM at 1220. TuneIn.com. Type in WHKT live. Follow me on tune in right now. Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris also on my YouTube page. Go to gjbtv.com, hit the YouTube link where this show will be archived this evening, as well as we're talking to Chris Sawyer and Al Cousineau from Stratford University right there in Newport News off of J. Clyde Morris Boulevard. But the brand is in several states as well.
Yeah, we actually, in Hampton Roads, we actually have a campus in Virginia Beach as well. So one of the things I want to let everybody know is you don't have to be a student at the Newport News campus to participate in sports. You can certainly call our Virginia Beach campus and reach out to us there. We actually have 8 campuses in Virginia, Baltimore, and actually in India. We have an international division of Stratford that's very popular. So we're a Virginia college, but we do branch outside of the state, and we're growing, and we're looking actually at starting sports at other campuses in the near future as well.
Your job must be really tough starting it off, because not only do you have to get the coaches, but assistant coaches too, and then the travel is involved.
It's funny you mention that, because Al and I have been looking at his travel budget and putting together the travel as we have put together our schedule. And it's a lot of work coordinating food, hotels, where we're staying, also coordinating the teams coming in. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of fun. But when we look at assistant coaches, I know Al's brought a couple to me. They're going to be an extension of Al as a coach and help with recruiting and game day preparations as well.
What about the USCAA? How do you fit in that model?
USCAA is great because it's a small school 4-year eligibility. It's run like the NCAA is, and it's based right out here in Hampton Roads. But we'll be playing teams up from Maine all the way down to Florida. So it's not just a region type program. We are really the whole East Coast for us is, and it's been great. They've come out, they've seen our fields, we've been accepted as members, and for us, it's a perfect fit. We looked at junior college, but we decided the USCA really was the way to go for us.
Full membership, meaning that you'll be able to play in all the championships?
We are on provisional the first year, so the first year we're ineligible for the championships, but we can still have Player of the Weeks and All-American honors.
Right. Al, when you talk about soccer players staying in shape, they can watch the World Cup or watch different other leagues. Soccer's really grown on national TV, on Fox Sports 1 and ESPN as well. They do a lot of weekend games too as well. That always has to help too. But trying to get, the soccer players a good goalie or a good forward. It used to be back in the day you have to have a good forward, but really every position is vital because they're not usually high-scoring games.
Right. I mean, now we're looking for balanced players that can fit into the system, make quick decisions, go with the ebb and flow of the game. You're lucky if you have somebody that can outrun everybody else, and you can stick that player up top, kick the ball to them, and hope that they score for you and you win 1-0. But now soccer is a lot more tactical. The game's slowed down. The players are better with the ball, so they can do some other things. But yeah, having it on TV is good because then that people can see how it's supposed to be played. Because some people don't have the quiet understanding of, how the whole team has to attack and how the whole team has to defend. And most of the players are running 4 or 5 miles a game. So you have to have dedicated athletes. And at Stratford, we're looking at for dedicated students as well. Because I want them to stay on for that 4 years.
Right. That's the key thing, the 4-year program. You don't want somebody just going there for 1 or 2 years too. And it's really like you said, Chris, you're involved with academics and athletics, the entire campus.
That's correct. I'm also the campus director for the Newport News campus, and one of the benefits about being a 4-year eligibility program is a student can come in and after their second year get an associate's degree. Then they finish their 3rd and 4th year of eligibility and they'll have a bachelor's degree. So they can actually graduate from Stratford University with 2 degrees. They can certainly go on to our graduate school as well, but it gives them an opportunity to be marketable out in the community when they're looking for a career. That's really what's important. We want them to enjoy, we want to win, but we also want them to graduate and move on in life and be successful members of the community.
Al, give us some of the rundown, some of the schools that you've taught at and coached at, and your FC program as well. Give us kind of like a resume of all the places you've been at.
Well, Chris, nothing like put on the spot there, huh? At the state level, I'm involved with the Olympic Development Program, where for about 10 years I would go out and scout players specifically that had the ability to go to the next level and play for like the Virginia State team. Locally, I've coached at Woodside High School, Denby High School, Heritage High School, boys and girls. On the travel side of things, everything from 8 years old to 18. One of my best teams that I had was a group of gentlemen that I coached from about 9 to 18, and now 5 of those kids are playing in local colleges. But almost all of them probably could have, because it was just a tremendous team. So, this is part of what I am. Soccer is in my DNA from being Italian and, just being exposed to it at a young age. And it's something that I enjoy, and, being able to bring it now to the college level. One of my education paths in soccer is you go through these licensing programs. And as you go, you realize that there's other levels of coaching out there, like just to say like Duke or UNC, those coaches are master coaches at what they do. And going to where I am and where I was to now, and being able to utilize my knowledge, skills, and abilities at a higher level is just been a great gift. And I'm really excited to be part of the Stratford family.
That's excellent. Chris, don't you wish everybody in your coaching staff had the enthusiasm Al does?
Yeah, Al does. He's been great. And when he talks to student athletes and their parents too, you can feel the energy in the room when he's talking to them, and I think that's what's made them come to Stratford, is they get excited about having Al as their coach.
Right. I'm a foodie. I'm Greek. Al's Italian, and of course you've got a campus of food there, so it's a lot of fun.
A lot of food. Yeah, we eat very well, and we were talking earlier. We do, starting in May again, on Thursdays, our dining services class puts out food for the community. Come in, get a 3-course meal. It's a great thing, and if anyone's ever interested in doing that, all they have to do is contact the Newport News campus.
Now talk about that menu and the price.
Oh, it's free to the public. It's part of their class, their dining services class. And the menu, it's anything from seafood to chicken to steak. They'll put the menu out for you and show you. But it's great. And our Virginia Beach campus actually does it on Wednesdays. So we have Wednesday at the beach and Thursday in Newport News.
Go ahead and plug the website or in the Twitter handles and Facebook.
Sure. Our school website is stratford.edu, where you can learn about our programs and, of course, apply to the school. Our athletic website is gostratford.com, which has recruitment forms that you can fill out, also see the people who've been signed. And our athletic Twitter site is Stratford in News, at Stratford in News.
Al, what are short-term goals for you right now for soccer with the roster and the coaching staff?
Sure. Solidify it. Getting all the girls connected. I want them to get to start knowing each other before the season starts. I've got a preseason conditioning plan that's in place, so the girls in June and July will need to start doing some conditioning before August 1st, when we hit the field officially. So that's really my most important goal at this point.
Right. So really, there's never a dull day. There's always something going on. And like we said from the beginning of the show, when you're launching something new, it's exciting. And new athletic program. Stratford is a recognized brand, and they've advertised, and people know that brand. But this is added value.
It is added value. Again, it's getting our name out to people who may not have considered Stratford University as an educational option for them. And it is a grind every day. We love what we do. It's 24/7, but I think as Al's team sets foot on the field August 26th down in Wilmington, we'll get to see and be rewarded for what we've done.
Al, what soccer teams around the state are solid? Colleges.
We're in a hotbed. UVA is always strong. Virginia Tech always puts a good product out there. There's just a lot of soccer, Chris. William & Mary's traditionally very, very good. Old Dominion's solid Division I program. But, for us, we're kind of we're hoping to achieve that level of, accolades. But it's a process.
All right. Chris Sawyer, Al Cousineau from the Stratford University. Gentlemen, thank you for all that you've done, and we'll archive this show later, and we hope to be starting a show for you guys in the fall.
Yeah, we look forward to doing that, Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Chris.
Very good. All the best to you guys. Thank you for coming in the studio today. All right, that was Chris Sawyer and Al Cousineau talking about the brand new athletic programs at Stratford University. You can see Chris on nnpstv.com. on the homepage as well for sports highlights. This show will be archived as well. This is Sports Scene on 1650 AM. TuneIn.com by typing in WHKT to listen, or your phone or your computer. Stay tuned. We have a lot more fun. I'll give you my Sweet 16 picks and a lot more on Sports Scene.
Interact with Sports Scene on Twitter at Greg Bick. Email the show, bicogb@hotmail.com. Now back to Greg Bicouvaris in the Hampton Roads Online Mall.com studios. It's now time for Greg's Highlights, presented by HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com.
And I want to thank Al Cousineau and Chris Sawyer joining us from Stratford University. Real gentlemen talking about their excellent brand of academics, athletics, and activities. This is Sports Scene right here, part of the highlights. GJBTV.com. Hit the YouTube link for archive shows. Visit all the pages of GJBTV.com and Hampton Roads OnlineMall.com. Save the date each Wednesday from 12 to 1 for Sports Scene. Hampton Roads OnlineMall.com, folks. Browse, shop, visit Hampton Roads OnlineMall.com. All right, my Sweet 16 picks. Michigan versus Oregon. I'm going to go with the upset and take Michigan. They're on a roll right now. West Virginia, Gonzaga. I'm going to take Gonzaga. Purdue versus Kansas. I'm going to take the Boilermakers. Xavier versus Arizona. I think Arizona's a little bit too much. Butler versus North Carolina. Carolina. South Carolina, which beat Duke, taking on Baylor. I'll take South Carolina again. UCLA versus Kentucky. Despite Ball and all the antics, I'm still going to take UCLA. And, of course, Wisconsin versus Florida. I am going to take on Wisconsin as well. Also, Panera is now the only nationwide chain that can say every item on their menu is 100% clean, meaning no artificial preservatives, colors, or flavoring. Panera will deliver to you. Go online and type the address as well. They also offer catering for large groups at home or the office. Don't wait in line. Choose the rapid pickup option. Go by the Harborview, Suffolk location at 6255 College Drive. Go there for 7 days a week for lunch, dinner, breakfast, late night. PaneraBread.com. Go by and see Christian. Soups, sandwiches, salads, breakfast, beverages, bagels. Excellent Thai garden chicken, wonton. Great place to warm you up on a cold day. Anytime is good for Panera. And for more, log on to PaneraBread.com. All right, let's welcome a regular monthly guest starting off today on this March 22nd, Mr. George McClain, the owner, general manager, and firearms instructor at the Marksman in Newport News. How are you, George? Welcome.
Thank you, Greg. Doing fine. How are you today?
Very good, my friend. Tell us about the Marksman right there in the Denby section of Newport News.
Well, the Marksman, it was actually started by a gentleman, I think, who moved down to New York in the 90s, and so it's kind of migrated this way to the location that it is now. It started out as primarily a retail sales outlet for firearms. Our focus today is as much or more so on the training environment to make sure that people get a firearm, that they can learn to properly use it or come in and do the training and then decide what type of firearm that they want. So we've become a little more diversified in that we do sell firearms. We provide actually state certified training by the Department of Criminal Justice Services for a myriad of professions, armed security guards, private investigators, and the like. So certified by the state to provide that training. We also do the concealed handgun course for Virginia. So we're doing that, and we have the indoor shooting range. So you can buy the gun, learn how to use the gun, and have a place to shoot the gun all in one stop.
Just like in sports and fundamentals, there are fundamentals for the gun, but your excellent staff has that indoor shooting range with firearm and sales, and professional training is the key.
That is the key, and you can underline the professional. All of our instructors are certified by the Department of Criminal Justice Services and/or the National Rifle Association, which are the only two certifications that the state of Virginia will accept. And all of our guys that provide instruction, they have that certification. So we stress that a lot. You're right about the fundamentals. Anytime you do something like that, whether it's sports, or playing golf, it's also as a sport, obviously, or shooting a firearm, there are certain fundamentals that you need to follow, and it's not rocket science. If you learn those fundamentals and get them down, it's not difficult. Then anyone can shoot like an expert, but you have to adhere to the fundamentals.
Talking to George McClain, the owner and general manager of the Marksman in Newport News, right there at 520 Industrial Park Drive. Their phone number is 872-4130, open 7 days a week. And what you're seeing now, George, is a lot of people that are, holding a concealed permit, and, it makes a lot more people safe. But you're seeing that a lot more because these are troubled times that we live in today. Let's face it.
Well, you're right. It is. And we were all seeing newspaper articles or TV spots on the news where someone does not use that capability legally. They have the permit, they carry a gun, and they think that anytime someone jumps out and yells boo at them, that they can pull the gun out and shoot them. Or, if someone breaks into your house in this state, in the state of Virginia, they think that someone breaks into your house at 2 o'clock in the morning, you can shoot them. The answer is no, you can't. Mm-hmm. In other states, you can, but in the state of Virginia, you cannot. And we stress that a lot because we have a lot of military that come in from Texas, Oklahoma. Those are states that firearm laws are just entirely different from what we have. And you need to learn the laws of the state that you're carrying in. So our goal is to keep you out of trouble, and we keep you out of trouble by teaching you how to shoot correctly and getting you up to date on Virginia's firearm laws.
Like you said, so much is that training, the before and after, because like you said, most people at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning are just going to go, in the heat of the moment. They're not going to think about the rules or protocol. That's right. But the Virginia state laws has, a part in the code that says that the bad guy, the assailant, must make or commit an overt or obvious act that puts you in a reasonable fear for your life or of serious bodily harm. Once that's done, now the door's open for you to use lethal force and self-defense. But until that happens, you cannot use, nor can you threaten to use lethal force. And I say threaten. A lot of people say, well, it's okay to yell out, I've got a gun. If you come in here, I'm going to shoot you. Well, yeah, that's legal because that's not the threat the law is talking about. What they're talking about is if you're drawing a weapon, basically brandishing a firearm with the intent to scare somebody off, and they haven't made that obvious act, committed that obvious act that puts you in that reasonable fear. Someone going through your trash cans, at night, or even breaking into your car at night outside. You can't just go out there with a gun and chase them off. We all, once you're carrying a firearm, everyone wants to think like they're a police officer, and you're not. You don't have that authority. But we all got telephones. Everyone's got that cell phone on their hip 24 hours a day. You call 911, let them know what's going on. That gun cannot be used to defend personal property. It's to defend your life or the life of another. So someone's breaking into your car outside, whatever you got, you got insurance on your car. At that point, you can't stop it. You can just call the cops and have them arrested for what they're doing. But, you're not able to take that gun outside and threaten that invader, that crook breaking in your car. Everyone's got the wrong idea about what the use of that handgun is for. It's for self-defense. It's not for protection of personal property. Learning a lot right here from the Marksman, George McClain, the owner and general manager of the Marksman in Newport News. George, talk about your wonderful staff. Your son works there, Sherry. Talk about some of the great people there at the Marksman. Well,
it truly is for the most part, a family, small business. Everyone's basically an in-law, or like I said, my son is there. Sherry, my secretary, is my sister-in-law. Is my wife's sister. I've got a niece that works there.
Sorry, I can't find the answer to the question.
Hang on, my Alexa just wanted to interfere there. Brother-in-law there. Matter of fact, a couple of brothers-in-law. I've got a retired Newport News police sergeant that's on staff as an instructor. So I think maybe out of 13 employees, I think 4 are not family members. Everybody else is related in one way or another.
Right, but of course there's something for everyone there. What ages can get involved in this?
Well, to actually get on the range, you have to be 21 or with someone who is 21. We do that from a liability standpoint, and even though we know we've got some military members that's under the age of 21, we try to honor that. They've had training. They've demonstrated that they are capable of making good decisions for the most part, but it's still because 21 is the legal age in Virginia. That kind of drives that particular deal. However, in the concealed course, you got to be 21 to get the permit, but we will let you come into the class under 21. Again, if you have an adult, we've had some teenagers in the 14, 15-year-old range that parents have brought in because they have a firearm in the house. Obviously, in some cases, the kids may have some access, to the firearm, so the parents wanted them to start learning at an early age the legalities of having and using that firearm, even though they could not, carry it. So you can, and on the range itself, we let parents bring their kids in as long as they're tall enough to look over the I'll call it a bench, but it's a fold down little table that you've got that you can put your ammo and your guns and stuff on. That's right in front of you as you look down the range. So as long as they can see over that, then we let the parent be the judge. They know their child better. They know if they're able to listen and take instruction. So those are the ones that we'll let come on. If the parent isn't aware, or if we don't think the parent, for whatever reason, they're not acting real responsibly, then we may have an observer in there watching them, making sure that that is a safe operation. Safety is our top priority. We don't want customers, having to come in and feel unsafe, from other shooters on the range. So that has to be and always will be our top priority is safety.
The-marksman.com. Phone number is 872-4130. Open 7 days a week at the Marksman, 520 Industrial Park Drive. George, leave us with something else, and of course we'll be talking to you monthly. In May, you'll be joining us in the studio.
Looking forward to it. I'd like to invite everyone come down and check us out. We been around for several years, and we still get people in on a regular basis that says, "Wow, never knew you were here." So I don't know how you get the word out to everybody. We do some advertising. So I don't know that we can afford to get every medium out there, but we make our attempt to reach our particular market. And so just like to invite someone, come down, check us out. If you haven't, if you have any concerns or any questions about firearms, give us a call. We can always start with a phone call and then try to get your questions answered. If you want to come in and look the place over, we'd love to give you the grand tour.
Yeah, Google the Marksman in Newport News. You'll see it. Great staff, open 7 days a week. George McClain, we will talk to you very soon. Thank you very much for enlightening us today about gun safety.
Okay, Greg, thank you very much. We'll talk to you later.
Very good. Thank you.
Right.
The Marksman right there, George McClain. All right, folks, also want to welcome our good friends at Panda Express in Newport News in the Yorktown area. They've got great orange chicken, broccoli beef, honey walnut shrimp, grilled teriyaki chicken, black pepper chicken, mushroom chicken, kung pao chicken. Go by and see Ken and their friendly staff. They got great egg rolls, of course, crispy shrimp, pot stickers, beverages, a la carte boxes, kids' meals. They got bowls, plates, bigger plates, real ingredients, freshly prepared every day. Excellent sides as well at pandaexpress.com/orders. Go by and see them at 5009 Victory Boulevard in Yorktown. Give them a call at 898-1916. All right, let's welcome Walt Ruff from the Norfolk Admirals. And as the season is coming to a near end here, how are you, Walt?
Greg, doing well, thank you. How are you?
Very good, my friend. I guess this is it, the last few weeks of the season.
Yeah, how about it? Our time here, especially on the show, has flown by, and it's even harder to believe that the tail end of the year is upon us, too.
Absolutely. Of course, we'll pick this up. You and I will do a periodical interview during the summer as well. We'll pick this up back next season as well. Well, let's talk about the Admirals, some road trips right now.
Yeah, the team is on their annual circus road trip. The circus has taken over here at Scope, but it's something we've gotten used to with, of course, the MEAC tournament taking place a couple of weeks ago. So the team is out of town for 1 week. They are in Fort Wayne taking on the Comets for the first time ever tonight, so that'll be a little interesting bit of history. Over the weekend, they then travel to Kalamazoo for a set of games on Friday and Saturday, and wrap it up on Sunday in Toledo against the powerhouse Walleye.
So are the circus animals there now?
The circus animals are most definitely in the building. It's been quite interesting. Right after the game got wrapped up on Saturday night, the process for taking the ice out got underway. It's going to be another couple busy weeks here at Scope as the circus animals are in the building right now. They're setting up everything for the circus out on the arena floor. And then just as they move out of town on Sunday, WWE comes in on Monday, so the ice will stay out then, and the city staff will have all of about 36 hours on next Tuesday into Wednesday to build ice for our game 1 week from today at home against the Atlanta Gladiators.
You're in such a multi-venue arena, the Norfolk Scope. You have the MEAC, of course, the hockey, of course, now the circus animals, and, of course, wrestling. There's really something there for everybody at the Scope.
Oh, without a doubt. And it's so impressive to see, Greg, how this city staff goes from changing it from one day to a basketball court to building ice, which is quite the lengthy process, as I'm sure you could assume, not only getting the floor chilled to getting just the right amount of ice. You know, there are league rules and regulations for how thick. I believe I don't quote me to it, but I believe it's 3/4 of an inch thick of ice that the entire playing surface has to be at to be deemed playable. And then the next day it's a wrestling ring. Something going on here every single day at Scope, I promise you that.
Absolutely. Talking to Walt Ruff from the Norfolk Admirals. Go ahead and, Walt, plug the social media.
Okay, well, first we'll start with NorfolkAdmirals.com. We just redesigned that about a month ago. A lot of good feedback from our step up that we took from our past one. We appreciate everyone going to check that out. Social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat all across the board. Norfolk Admirals, you can use it as one word in the URL, and you shouldn't have any problem getting to where you need to be for all things Admirals.
Very good. How did the Green Ice experience go?
Boy, that was something. That was pretty neat. It was one of, I believe, 2 teams in the ECHL to do it this season. The Kalamazoo Wings, who we'll be seeing this weekend, also did it. Got some media attention from not only just the local area, but of course all across the hockey world, because you only really see that sort of stuff at the minor league level. You don't see it too commonly in the NHL. I thought it was great. I thought it was a good time. I think the team looked pretty darn sharp, if I may say so myself, in their green uniforms, which were auctioned off following the game Saturday. We were very grateful to announce that we raised over $21,000 for Muscular Dystrophy Association, auctioning off all the guys' jerseys. So it was a phenomenal weekend from start to finish here. We couldn't be happier with how things went.
Of course, the website, NorfolkAdmirals.com. This is Sports Scene at Greg Bickle on Twitter, talking to Walt Ruff from the Norfolk Admirals. The media manager has also been on Sports Highlights, which is archived on nnpstv.com. We're about to do our Tide segment starting in the end of May. How often do you guys work with the Tides? Have you reached out to them, or have they reached out to you at all?
Yeah, that's something that we're going to be trying to strengthen our partnership a little bit more. As you know, Greg, the Tides and Admirals pretty much shared the same upper management staff until when the Admirals were sold in September. Joe Gregory was the vice president of both teams. He is now solely with the Tides, but that is something that we know we need to work hand in hand with them in order for both of us to be successful. I know a lot of our Admiral staff is looking forward to getting over to a bunch of games at Harbor Park this summer, and it's crazy to think that in just a couple of weeks they'll be underway too.
Absolutely. Of course, how many more home games do you have left?
The Admirals have 3 home games left. 1 week from today, we have the Atlanta Gladiators on deck for our final Wednesday weekday game. And then Friday, April 7th, and Saturday, April 8th, the team is home to conclude the regular season against the Reading Royals.
Very good, my friend. All right, we'll pick this up again next season. Of course, I'll talk to you again during the summer, and we'll always be in touch. Very good, Walt Ruff. Thank you for 11 excellent segments.
Greg, thank you so much. We really appreciate you reaching out to the organization and me specifically to get this done. My goal is that hopefully to give you a lot of stuff to talk about this summer, and hopefully we'll be getting to chat a couple things Admirals, and you just never know what this team's going to do this summer. We've got some exciting news on deck for you.
Yeah, we did 11 segments. You and I did a separate radio segment a while back, and then we did the TV show. Thanks for all that you do, Walt.
Yeah, absolutely, Greg. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Have a great day. All right.
You too.
Walt Ruff right there. And it's really all-inclusive, like I said, with Al there, Al Cousineau, and then, of course, Chris Sawyer, Joe Daniel, and George McClain really making this an excellent show today, each and every week right here on Sports Scene, 12 to 1, 1650 AM, tunein.com, by typing in WHKT to listen on your phone or your computer. All right, Outback Steakhouse right there. Excellent bloom petals, coconut shrimp, excellent steaks, seafood, pasta, burgers, wings, great kids menu, something 7 days a week, lunch and dinner at 1255 Fordham Drive in the Kempsville section in Virginia Beach. Go by and see Mike and the friendly staff, 523-4832. That's 523-4832. Centrally located right there at 1255 Fordham Drive. Excellent steaks, seafood, pasta, burgers, chops, ribs, whatever you want at Outback Steakhouse. Make it a nice 3-course meal with a appetizer, an entree, and a dessert, and of course an excellent beverage of your choice right there at Outback Steakhouse. Watch the games on TV there as well, and give them a call at 523-4832. Always cooked to perfection for you. Stay tuned. We'll be back after these messages right here on Sports Scene.
Oh, yeah, this is the place where Washington Wizards basketball comes alive on the radio.
John Wall, edge of the circle, cuts his right, splits the defenders, drives, 360 under the basket, makes and scores!
Follow John Wall, the Wizards, all season long on their journey through the NBA.
Catch and shoot for three, it's there! It's there!
Check it on Twitter at Dave J Sports or at GC Talks. It is the hashtag radio party right here on your home for Washington Wizards basketball.
Listen on 1650 AM, The Answer. People in Chesapeake and Hampton Roads have come to expect the finest Italian food at Spaghetti Eddie's. In addition to great lunch and dinner served daily, this fine establishment caters to and can host your party. Call 484-7301 for their Taylor Road location and call 410-5500 for their restaurant in Greenbrier. For more, log on to SpaghettiEddiesPizzaCafe.com.
Mi Hogar is your restaurant for the finest Mexican cuisine in Hampton Roads. At Mi Hogar, everything is prepared fresh in a casual atmosphere. Enjoy traditional favorites such as quesadillas, tacos, burritos, and fajitas, as well as refreshing beverages. Mi Hogar has 2 locations, 4201 Granby Street in Norfolk and 801 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake. Call ahead at 640-7705. At Mi Hogar, there is something for everyone.
Mark your calendar for June 1st through June 4th as Saints Constantine and Helen Greek Orthodox Church in Newport News presents the Newport News Greek Festival. Enjoy authentic Greek food, desserts, beverages, music, dancing, arts and crafts, and much more. This is the 50th anniversary of this signature event on the peninsula, and it will be special. The Newport News Greek Festival is located at 60 Traverse Road, off exit 258B on Route 17 in Newport News. For more, log on to newportnewsgreekfestival.org.
Now back to Greg Bicouvaris and Sports Scene in the Hampton Roads Online Mall.com studio.
Right here on Sports Scene, live right here on the radio. Greg Bicouvaris, glad you're with us with Joe Daniel. It is 12:56. Also, I want to thank Buffalo Wild Wings and Newport News, Paul Odette, and the great staff at 12150 Jefferson Avenue. Your place to watch March Madness. They have delicious food to watch it with, folks, too, like great shareables with your family or friends, wedges, fries, and chips, wings, both boneless and traditional, tenders, great salads, burgers, and much more, wraps and sandwiches. They have Little Buffalo's, Sweet Spot, excellent beverages. They're always giving back to the community at BuffaloWildWings.com, where ordering is always easy. Go by and get a party menu for March Madness, wings, tenders, and more, shareables, excellent sides like chips and salsa, baked mac and cheese, yum, yum, yum. It's during lunchtime right now. Buffalo Wild Wings, wall-to-wall TVs, wings, beer, sports at 12150 Jefferson Avenue. Let's get to what teased me off.
What tees you off? Presented by GJBTV.com.
And we're talking about food, Joe Daniel, eating with your mouth open and talking.
Oh my gosh. There is absolutely nothing worse than that.
Right.
Just constant smacking, or when you're chewing something that's really crunchy.
And you're seeing somebody.
Right in somebody's face.
Right. Oh, and speaking of that, lack of coleslaw at restaurants, really? Lack of coleslaw? How hard is it to put coleslaw on the menu? I'm sorry.
I always order a coleslaw. Good coleslaw.
Exactly.
Good coleslaw on the side.
Objects that are difficult to open, especially hygiene products, where you have to get your knife and almost open the plastic
They're like
part.
childproof.
Yeah, I mean, it's
you
almost,
have to push down, twist, and yeah.
It's almost like, some things are locked up in boxes at like these big box stores, but they shouldn't be like that when you get home, for God's sake. You've already paid for it. Laundry. Is there an app that can do laundry, please?
Oh,
I mean, laundry. I mean, there's no app for laundry. Coaches this time of the year making excuses the Maryland basketball coach. You got beat in the first round. Repeat, Maryland, you got beat in the first round. No more excuses. You should have never left the ACC in the first place. People who love to hear themselves talk at meetings. And there's too many meetings to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah, just talking just to hear the sound of your own voice.
I know, and you make no sense. I'm not going to mention who I'm talking about either. You notice how Easter has more services than any other time of the year? It's something you and your partner, Tim, can talk about.
That's
Easter's got way too many services.
Yeah, there's like a popular one is the sunrise service. And I go to church, so I'm not talking bad about it. But you're right. I mean, there are a lot of services that take place on Sunday. There's a sunrise service, and then they'll have like 3 services in the morning, and then they'll have one in the evening just in case somebody can't make them, or make
Holy Wednesday, Holy Thursday, Good Friday. I mean, really, come on, how many do you need? All right, I do like it, but enough is enough. How about people that roll their eyes with disgust?
Ooh, that's extremely rude.
Yes. All right, of course, the Ball family at UCLA, you're not LeBron James, you're not Michael Jordan. You got high school and college kids. There's no guarantee they're going to make the NBA. Ball family at UCLA. All right, I want to thank our great guests today. Excellent lineup of guests today. Al Cousineau, Chris Sawyer, George McClain, and Walt Ruff. Sports Scene 12 to 1 each Wednesday on gjbtv.com. Hit the YouTube link for archive shows on 1650 AM on the radio. TuneIn.com, type in WHKT. For Joe Daniel, I'm Greg Bicouvaris. Happy Wednesday. We'll talk to you soon.
The best of News Talk Radio in Hampton Roads, AM 1650, WHKT Portsmouth. We are the answer.